We are in full swing Black Clover, Wano, training arc, whatever you want to call it. We are getting closer to the final battle in Black Clover, and all I can say is that it's been a crazy ride, and I can't wait for the next chapter. In chapter 338, we learn that the Land of the Sun's power is not magic, but instead a similar working system of sorcery, which they use by utilizing scrolls. This wasn't even the most interesting part of the chapter. We see that Yami's sister, that's right, his sister. I kinda thought she looked a bit like Nero, but definitely gives us some strong Yami vibes. But she uses one for all full cowling and easily takes out some bandits, and we learn two important things from this whole interaction. Yami's sister is going to be one of Asta's new teachers for his training, and that it looks like Ki is going to be a very important factor, looking like it could be weaponized for attacking and seeing into the future? Wow, look at that crazy clean segue. So, the Shogun Ryuda, I watch so much anime and I still can't pronounce things. But the Shogun claims in this chapter that he actually has no capacity to use sorcery, but he somehow was able to see the future, or predict it somehow. And after seeing Yami's sister, I think I finally figured out how his powers work. So buckle in, because I might get a little crazy. So let's start by looking at what Ki is. Yami explains it as the bodily energy that people give off just by minute movements, like looking around, blinking, and muscle movement. Yami and Asta use Ki to narrow down another person's aura and react to it. It is also stated that the Ki of nature can also be detected. In this situation, they use it to avoid a rock slide. I feel like what Ryu said is true. He probably has no sorcery or he can't use it. I think that Ki is a physical magic, not literally magic, but similar. Something that requires a person to vigorously and tirelessly train, and the more they train it, the less potent or strong their magic is. It's weird, but let's think about it like writing. A normal magic user uses their right hand to write, and if they try to use Ki, it's like learning how to write with their left hand. It's not anything impossible, but since they've been trained at birth to use their right hand, it is very difficult. With Asta, he never had to write. He had no magic, so picking up on Ki was very easy to him. While Yami already learned Ki in his homeland, he was able to pick up magic quickly. Think of him as an ambidextrous person. Something that's pretty rare, but not impossible. I think Ryuya, Yami's sister, and anyone else that uses Ki in Wano, the Land of the Sun, are incapable or barely able to use sorcery. That's all good, but how does this go with the Shogun's future sight? Just like how Yami's sister was able to use Ki to enhance her strength and speed, I think that Ryo trained extremely hard to master Ki to the point that it affects his vision, and he can see the smallest atom in the air, the smallest body twitch, and can map out the events that occur. This also explains his eye patch. Ki is a physical thing, and perhaps he is unable to turn off this ability, so he needs to eliminate it by covering it up. This explains how he was able to move the citizens out the way when the bandits attacked. He saw the air moving, he sensed the body movements of the other people, so on. I can crazily assume that, but how does he look into Asta's future? It's important to distinguish the Shogun's and Lucius' future sight. Lucius is basically flipping through channels, seeing different possible timelines, and changing things accordingly to get what he wants. Ryuya basically just looks into a person's for sure future that only changes if the person themselves change. Every individual has their own unique Ki. It's even possible to detect whether a person is lying or not with it. It's almost like palm reading. If he does this with everything he sees, he can create a script on basically how things can go. I think this is less future sight and more strategy and horoscope-y. He learns the personality through the Ki. Those two concepts seem pretty interlinked. And he takes all this knowledge to map out the only possible future. Or he can have sorcery and they lied. Either way. But this is a shorter video and I might have gone a bit off the rails, but how do you think Ryu's powers work? And do you think Asta is going to be able to use this found power? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Alright, peace.